everyone, coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, presents the Raw Ring Report. Coming up, the history of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, Part 1. We'll get a deep dive on why Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had their history and what this is going to lead to Crown Jewel in Perth. We'll talk about that coming up as well. Also, too, here on the Pro Wrestling Show, Rusev gets the opportunity of a lifetime when he takes on Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And the Bulgarian Brute wins singles gold once he had returned. We'll see coming up. Also, too, Bayley takes on Raquel Rodriguez one-on-one. Judgment Day versus Bayley with her new personality. It's going to go down with that. Also, too, Uso twins will be in action against the Bron of these monsters, Bron Breakker and Bronson Arena tag team tornado match. We'll talk about it. And we get the return of Roman Reigns. We get all this started here on the Raw Ring Report, right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Raw Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kid the Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Raw Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Raw Ring Report here. Let's get things started right here, right now. The Raw Ring Report right here, right now. We get things started with this. Rhea Ripley. Let's see, we can show Rhea Ripley right quick and get some seconds and stuff. Rhea Ripley started the show, and Io Sky had paid the price last week. Rhea Ripley was covered with that mist that Asuka had sprayed. Asuka sprayed that mist, that powerful mist that Asuka's known for. Asuka knows the thing too by using that mist, and she had rubbed in the face of Rhea Ripley. Asuka had did that to Io Sky. Io really had to get attendance for her face after what she had went through. Looks like Kairi Singh was a little bit empathetic that Io had to go through that, and saying that Io can make things right by coming back to Asuka and apologize, because Asuka feels like Kairi had disappointed her, and Asuka had used that to her advantage right here. Asuka was talking about that she's tired of that. She told Io numerous times over and over again, but Asuka tried to be the bearer of that, but it just didn't work. Asuka spit in Io's face. Io had to endure that. Io endured that pain from Asuka right here. That Io had to have people their marriage to help rub her face. Rhea Ripley was down and out. Asuka suffering, putting her down to the ground. But we kind of saw tonight how all that's going to play out. Well, Io Sky talked to Rhea Ripley and said that they're going to have a match at Crown Jewel. They're going to team up together, Rhea Ripley and Asuka, to take on the team of Kairi Singh and Asuka, the Kabuki Warriors, one-on-one. So we'll see that match going forward as well. We'll get that going for them coming up. The Kabuki Warriors will show how they will go, how they will place that down and stuff between Asuka and Io. Asuka and Io gonna really have a battle. We're gonna see that battle coming up at Crown Jewel. This is the match right here. It's made official. Asuka and Io will team up against the Kabuki Warriors, and we'll see if Io will get her revenge on Asuka. After Asuka had sprayed that mist on her, almost trying to blind her and stuff. But Io Sky was trying to be the better person tonight. Asuka wasn't budging one bit. Well, AJ Styles, he teamed up with Dragon Lee to take on the Eric Americanos. We know AJ Styles will be part of that match against John Cena. We made the announcement on SmackDown. It's going to happen between AJ Styles and John Cena one last time before John Cena hangs his boots. So AJ Styles will wrestle John Cena at the pay-per-view. But AJ Styles was victorious over the El Gran Americanos tonight, getting the victory as he did tonight as well. So El Gran Vador and everybody else was in the fitting tonight. Well, we get to this right here. Bayley was in action. Bayley, former women's champ Bayley went against Raquel Rodriguez, one half of the women's tag team champions. Well, Raquel Rodriguez did get we're seeing this right here. Bayley is still going through her split personality and live Raquel ain't buying it. She's trying to buy it, but she just don't know what Bayley she's gonna get. And Bayley was all over the place with her split personalities, and Bayley was trying to get the high five and stuff, but we're still having some detail with that. Well, Raquel Rodriguez won her match, pinning Bayley with a stacked powerbomb to get the 1-2-3. But Bayley's still going through her changes as she normally do. But Bayley has that going on for her. So who knows what's going on with Bayley? But you just have to wait and see about that with Bayley coming forward. Well, Seth Rollins was confronted by his wife, Becky Lynch, the Women's Intercontinental Champion. That is Seth okay? Well, she said Seth says he's all right. Becky Lynch had pound and attack both Kira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. Well, Becky Lynch will go against Maxine Dupree next week on Raw. That's going to have it. Maxine Dupree Lynch somebody to feud with until now. I don't know why she's feuding. Why she ain't trying to be obsessed with AJ Lee to bring her back. It's just I don't know what they're doing on Raw and how all this come around and stuff. But speaking of Becky's husband, Seth, when he had his confrontation, they did a vignette over Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes about the history. Cody had to leave WWE to find his net voice, to find who he once was. That's why he went to AEW and tried to be a disruptor and came back to WWE 10 times better than he did. That's what they say. Once you leave, you come back and you be better than you once were. So I think that's what Cody Rhodes' message to people and stuff. If you don't feel like job not working, because they said Cody was miserable in WWE his first run. And then we came back, he came back stronger, he came back better than ever. And Seth Rollins once Cody was out his absence, Seth Rollins flourished, winning world championships and headlining WrestleManias left and right. When Cody Rhodes was trying to say that he don't know why Seth thinking about who's gonna lead WWE to the next generation. Well, kind of know who's gonna do it. I think Seth Rollins been there forever. Cody's more of a disruptor than he is the champion, the WWE champion. Cody just there just to collect money and keep it moving like Seth is. Well, we know that Cody Rhodes will meet Seth Rollins one-on-one at Crown Jewel for the Crown Jewel Championship. Who is the best of the best between these two world champions, these two current active world champions? Who's going to win for their brand? Will Cody win for the SmackDown brand or will Seth win for the Raw brand? That's the question that everyone needs to know. And we'll get that answer coming up at Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins being serious that he had to get rid of Roman and The Rock and stuff because they was holding WWE back. And that's what Seth Rollins going to do. He said he's not going to hold back coming up at Crown Jewel when it comes to the WWE Championship, to the Crown Jewel Championship match as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. Also, too, LA Knight was in the ring. LA Knight called out in the competition. He getting it from Kofi Kingston, another former WWE champion. LA Knight won his match tonight over Kofi. LA Knight proving the naysayers wrong. He's in to win it, but LA Knight needs some gold. I don't know what's the hold with LA Knight with the gold situation, but hey, it is what it is. LA Knight won his match over Kofi Kingston. The Uso brothers are still having tension with LA Knight. Jay and Jimmy are still trying to have a divided loyalties and stuff. Jay trying to question Jimmy's loyalties to LA Knight, saying that you care more about LA Knight and I want you to back off of LA Knight. And Jimmy said that I can't because LA Knight ain't done nothing to me. So we see a lot of divided loyalties going on. We'll see whose side is who. Usos said tonight they're gonna stick on the same page tonight, regardless. So in that tag team match against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, we'll see that a little bit later. Speaking of that, the Judgment Day. Judgment Day may have to worry about the Usos may challenge them for the tag team titles down the road. The Judgment Day may have to defend those tag team titles next week. But we'll see what the Judgment Day gonna have going on. JD and Finn were ready and talked about what they're gonna do coming forward to next week on Raw. They defend the tag team titles. Speaking of the Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio was in action. Dominic graced on by, and Dominik Mysterio defended his coveted Intercontinental Championship against the mighty Russo. Russo wanted the Intercontinental Championship ever since returning. Russo tried to do all he could, but Russo was no match for Dominik Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio lied, cheat, and steal, just like his daddy did, stepdad did, Eddie Guerrero, his uncle Eddie Guerrero did. Dominik Mysterio picks up the victory over retains his Intercontinental Championship. Hit or crook or miss. You know how that go. All right. We get to this right here. The main event. The main event of the night was the Usos, the former tag team champions, the longest reigning tag team champions of the modern era, taking on Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker with Paul Heyman in their corner. Well, the Usos tried to do as much. They had ground game throughout the whole entire match. But the Bronze were dominant throughout the whole match, picking it up for more of a defense than when the Usos was doing offense and stuff. Well, the Bronze were about to finish and end the Usos until a familiar face came back. Roman Reigns, the OTC, Roman Reigns returns after a month of being out of the shelf at Clash of Paris. Roman Reigns returned, and you can see Paul Heyman's expression right here. The look on his face, he prayed and looked like, oh my God, I got to deal with him again. Roman Reigns came back, and he came back with a vengeance. He helped out his cousins get the 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns out there providing the assist, helping his cousins, Jimmy and Jay, get the win over the Big Bronze over the match. So congratulations to what Roman Reigns did. And like I said, Roman Reigns helped his cousins out, getting revenge. We'll see if Roman Reigns coming back to get some more revenge out of somebody. Get on against the Bronze. He did choke the, day out of Paul Heyman and choked him to death. So we saw that earlier tonight. All right, that's gonna do it for the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics here on the Pro Wrestling Show. On the Pro Wrestling Show next week, CM Punk returns to Raw. What was CM Punk had to say after winning? Him and his wife, what Punk got going on? We'll have to wait and see next week on Raw. We'll see. Speaking of that, Live Valkyria taking on Roxanne Perez next week. Looking forward to seeing Live Valkyria and Roxanne Perez next week. They got more women matches, which is good. As Maxine Dupree will take on Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch in a non-title match. So Roxanne Dupree will get her shot next week. Well, we know this in an honorable mention as well. Stephanie Vicure and Tiffany Stratton had a exchange. Stephanie returned the favor, went on SmackDown to confront Tiffany. Tiffany returned the favor, confronting Stephanie on Raw. These two women will meet for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship as well. So we'll look forward to seeing that as well coming forward. Well, Stephanie's boyfriend, Miles Bourne, sent out a tweet that to Stephanie. Stephanie sent out a tweet about Miles, and Stephanie and Miles Bourne are in their love story feelings, and we see stuff like that as well. Congratulations. Speaking of that, we told you earlier, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins will meet for the Crown Jewel Championship for the men's Crown Jewel title. This is a throwback picture that Cody Rhodes showed right here between the two right here back in the day. Cody and Seth wrestling in the early stages of NXT back in 2012. So 2012. So Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, way before Cody about to go to AEW in the Indies for that whole year. He left WWE. Cody Rhodes did what he needed to do. He came back as a journeyman wrestler, and I respect that right bit from Cody Rhodes doing that as well, being a journeyman wrestler as well. So hey, it's Cody Rhodes for you. All right. Well, speaking of that, Bad Bunny, the WrestleMania celebrity and WWE aficionado come WWE. He had his moment at Backlash. We hearing that Bad Bunny will be the headliner for Super Bowl performer if next February on the 8th. So we'll see Bad Bunny coming back. Bad Bunny trying to blow up your screams, I guess. Bad Bunny. Also, too, Oba Femi lost the NXT Championship. That only mean one thing. Oba Femi might make his way to the main roster. Can we see Oba Femi heading to Raw or SmackDown? Hopefully, WWE does not mess this up with Oba Femi. I just hope and pray they don't. Well, we told you earlier on the ring report. Asuka will and Kyrie Singh will take on Rhea Ripley and Sky 1-on-1 at Crown Jewel. We'll have the Crown Jewel predict the outcome special that Saturday morning. I look forward to seeing that coming your way as well. So looking forward to seeing that as well. All right. I'm gonna leave you with the OTC Roman Reigns returning to help his cousins, the Usos, get the victory over Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. What a victory that was coming out of the gate. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show present the Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kidder Dick, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.